Welcome to my very first Chicago Blackhawks State of the Union address. We will be running this State of the Union address the way the normal ones are ran. After every good point or good opinion I give, I will be taking an obnoxiously long pause so that everybody at home can stand and clap for an inappropriate amount of time. Okay? Now that we've got all the rules out of the way, before I kind of dive deep into the Blackhawks organization right now, because look, we're 8 days away from opening day. We're like over halfway through training camp now. The season is about to start. Blackhawks hockey is upon us. Been a lot of stuff has gone down organizationally over the past couple days. And there's a lot of social media shit I want to get to. But before I do any of that, please, in the comments, rate my mustache on a scale of 1 to turning your pillow over to the cold side in the middle of the night. Coming in very nicely, very nicely. Yes. Okay, sorry. I'll stop being weird. Let's get into it. I want to start with a tweet from Charlie Roumeliotis. These were the moves made today. A few more players being assigned to the AHL. Drew Commesso down to Rockford. Ashton Cumbie down to Cumbie. Mr. Cumbie is going down to Rockford. Good to see Mr. Cumbie going to Rockford. Nick Lardis. You guys know how I feel about Nick Lardis. Look, I think kind of saw this coming. I think it was pretty obvious that he was going to end up starting the year in Rockford just because of the roster availability. There's just not really a spot for him at the moment. And so I hope he lights it up in Rockford to start the season, what's the right word here? Easing him into pro hockey, right? Spend a couple months in Rockford, get your footing, get used to the speed and size of the pro game, hopefully have some success in Rockford, and then find his way to the Blackhawks throughout the season, because I think there's going to be roster turnover as the year goes on, just guys going in and out with some of the veterans that maybe get moved, maybe get injured, young players that are in the lineup maybe not reaching expectations. There's going to be a revolving door of some of these young guys going from Rockford to the NHL level, and so I really think that Nick Lardis is going to be one of them. Samuel Savoie was assigned to Rockford, as well as Aiden Thompson and Mitchell Weeks, and then AJ Spellacy is going to play back in the O with the Windsor Spitfires for another season. So all well and good. We are getting closer to opening day. There's less and less people. There's less and less bodies at training camp. It's becoming more of an NHL roster. And so this is all very exciting stuff. And that's kind of why I was looking at this today, and I was like, I need a State of the Union. Just because of the last two preseason games on Saturday and Sunday, just like winning hockey, you forget the last 2 seasons, past like 3 seasons, past 4 seasons. Jeez! Have been so brutal that you forget what it's like to win. And although they were just, preseason games, getting back-to-back wins in like impressive fashion, and like the players you want to see do well performing at that, it's just so fun to watch. And so I don't know, I was just on social media, and I thought that it was time for a State of the Union address in Blackhawks land. So I do kind of want to talk about the roster really quickly. We're not going to spend long on this because it's not the most fun stuff in the world. All right, so here's the roster as is right now on Daily Faceoff. So starting with the top 6, this is exactly kind of what we imagined the top 6 was going to be. The second line here of Nazar, Bertuzzi, and Teravainen finished the year really well together last season, so it was pretty obvious that those guys were going to be stuck together again. And then Donato and Bedard developed some real chemistry as the year went on and were the most productive forwards on the team, so not a surprise to see them glued at the hip together as well on the first line. And then Burakovsky was really the only addition of note made by the Blackhawks over the offseason. He's one of the higher paid players on the team, so he's going to be on the top 6, and they're going to put him on that first line, even though I don't even think that's necessarily where he should be. I think there's probably a couple young players that I'd rather be in that spot, but that is neither here nor there. I would imagine that we'll see some different line combinations for Connor Bedard as the season goes on. I don't think it's just going to be these three all year, although I do think it's probably going to be a lot of Donato and Bedard. The bottom six, though, you are going to see Ilya Mikheyev, Jason Dickinson, and Nick Foligno all in the lineup. I don't know if they'll all be on the same line together, but, maybe if Foligno's down here and then you've got maybe a Colton Dach or a Landon Slaggert up here. I do think Sam Lafferty is probably going to play more than I'd like him to, just because I don't know why else Kyle Davidson would have gone out and acquired him if he wasn't going to play him and then try to flip him for assets, as kind of what I imagine Kyle Davidson's plan for Sam Lafferty is. Ben Pope put out an article today kind of saying how he thinks that Ryan Green and Oliver Moore is kind of like the last available spot. Who wants it? Maybe one of the guys starts up and one of them starts in Rockford, because there is obviously Colton Dach and then also Landon Slaggert. And so, who's going to be the extra forwards? Who's going to start the year in Rockford? It's yet to be seen. I would like to see, I hate how you have to kind of pit these guys against each other. I would like to see Ryan Green and Oliver Moore both up with the Blackhawks, but it seems like we're probably going to get one or the other as of right now. And honestly, for a bottom six role, I could see the Blackhawks and their defensive-minded coaches going with a Ryan Green over an Oliver Moore to start the season. But we shall see. And then defensively, Vlasic did pick up an injury Sunday night, but he is supposed to be fine. Supposedly he's just day-to-day, nothing serious to worry about, so that's all well and good. I was worried that it was going to be like a knee or something, but he's fine. Probably going to be Rinzel Vlasic first pairing. They've kind of had those two together since the end of last season when Rinzel played those 9 games for the Blackhawks. And they've absolutely stapled Levshinov and Kaiser together, which I'm okay with. I'm excited to see kind of what those two can do as the year goes on. I think Artem Levshinov has a ton of growing to do, but I'm happy that it's happening at the NHL level, just because I'd rather be watching him than him be down in Rockford. And then Connor Murphy is, I think, the only last shoe in here in the defensive core. He's probably going to be the guy that starts on that third pairing right side, with Louis Crevier being the 7th defenseman. But then this spot is kind of going to be the revolving door all year long between Del Mastro, Allen, and Korchinski. I don't think any of those 3 players have really stood out to me from these preseason games. I guess Allen did have an impressive performance in his first game Sunday evening, but I think the Blackhawks, and Ben Pope actually said this, that heading into camp, it was expected that this was going to be Ethan Del Mastro's spot, but he hasn't looked fantastic in his preseason showing, so it'll be interesting to see. I think that they're going to split time somewhat evenly is what I would guess from this spot. So that's kind of the state of the lineup, significantly younger than last year, which is absolutely wonderful. So many things to be excited about, so many guys to watch, especially if you do get Oliver Moore in here somewhere, and you've got Green and Dach and Oliver Moore in your bottom 6. It's going to be fun, man. One guy that's not here that I have not mentioned is Lucas Reichel. I do not know what the plan is with Lucas Reichel. He's one of those guys that is just not skillful enough to be a true top 6 player in the league, and he's not kind of a grind you down physical defensive player that you want in your bottom 6 either. So he's kind of in that awkward no man's land. The organization has no plan for him. He was not Kyle Davidson's draft pick, so he's not a KD guy, so nobody actually cares about him. I thought they should have traded him this past summer and try to get a little something for him, but I think he's probably just going to end up not playing very much and getting really inconsistent minutes, and then get dealt for peanuts is probably what's going to happen. But I don't know. We will see with Lucas Reichel. Now, I want to talk about Sunday night, Sunday and Saturday, the good preseason wins. Now, these are all my Twitter likes. I wanted to throw up Twitter because this is how much more fun winning hockey is. And I know it's preseason. Again, I know it's preseason. Shut up. I'm just saying, when have we haven't had this in years. The Blackhawks destroyed the Minnesota Wild on Sunday, and there were a lot of highlights. Frank Nazar scoring a hat trick, Connor Bedard having an absurd behind-the-back spinorama, Patrick Kane-esque assists to Ryan Donato. And, I mean, just look at all these accounts that were, so, like, these are some Blackhawks people, but the NHL account posting Frank Nazar's 6-7 celly, more NHL posting Frank Nazar's hat-trick goal. That's Bedarded. BR Open Ice posting a sick defensive play from our young defensemen, Sam Rinzel and Wyatt Kaiser. Spit and Chicklets posting Frank Nazar. Bar Down posting OMG Bedard with a ridiculous assist. BR Open Ice showing Patrick Kane in 2011 behind a little spinorama feed to Marian Hossa, and then Bedard doing it to Donato in 2025. When have we had this? When was the last time you were at Blackhawks fans? When was the last time you went on Twitter during or after a Blackhawks game and just every single hockey account was just spamming Blackhawks highlights? We haven't had the look around. We created this. This didn't exist before we were here. Okay? We haven't had this in years. And the vibes. We are competing for San Jose's Vibes Trophy this year, man. We really are, because the vibes around the team is just up. You've got all these young players. Roman Kanserov is coming too. I'll throw this in here. Roman Kanserov had another goal and assist today in the KHL. He's now got 10 points in 10 games. And this is advanced analytics. I don't subscribe to any of this, but this is just saying that worst case scenario, Roman Kanserov will be a Kelly Yarncrow. So, and he does have star potential, which you can see right here, up to 23% star probabilities. I think Roman Kanserov is going to be playing the Blackhawks top 6 next year. I think, he's going to be older. It's not going to be like he's a 20-year-old coming out of juniors. He's going to be 22, maybe 23 next year. How old is Roman Kanserov going to be next year? I don't know if I spelled his name right. Yeah, so he'll be 22 next year after playing 3 seasons against professionals, grown men. 3 seasons playing against grown men. I think he's going to be more NHL ready than we're seeing kids coming out of the NCAA or major junior. So I think he's going to slide into the top 6. Just all the highlights that I see, he's been scoring in dirty areas too. It's not just like plays like this where he gets a little bit of open ice. Nice, love the Russian commentary there. But yeah, if you see his goals, they're not just like snipes like that. Like, he goes to the dirty areas. He's good net front. He's good at getting his stick on pucks, and he's a pretty good playmaker too. So I think he's going to be an NHL player, and I think he's going to play in the top 6 next year, which is so crazy to think about. That like we've got all these young guys coming through right now, and it's like, oh, here go 2 more for y'all. Here goes 1 more for y'all.
You know what? Here go 2 more for y'all.
Shout out LeBron. It's an embarrassment of riches right now in the Blackhawks prospect pipeline. Demidov watching the Frank hat trick tonight. Okay. Always can sneak in some Habs hate. Why not? The vibes are just different. And this is kind of really what prompted me to make this video is we have not had this good of vibes around the team, the Chicago Blackhawks, in years. And I want to thank the Blackhawks TikTok admin for really going above and beyond recently. Over this camp, they've been cranking out the silly little content,
I'm actually for Nickelback.
Fucking who gives a shit about Nickelback? Terrible band, but it's fun. Lucas Reichel, look at this. 2.9 million views, and now I know a lot of this TikTok engagement is girls thinking that these young players are attractive, but that's fine. We need this, okay? We need these delusional vibes around the team to take the pressure off the players in the locker room. Because last year, there was a media circus around this team in the worst way possible. It was just like, oh my gosh, look at Bedard scowling on the bench again. Oh, Bedard wants to leave. None of these guys want to be here. Oh my gosh, it's going to be 10 years before the Blackhawks are good. Oh, Bedard put on a shirt, Macklin Celebrini empowering. It was all just bullshit media narrative, and I'm going to do my best, and apparently the Blackhawks TikTok admin is doing her best to turn this thing around. And also, if it's just a bunch of girls joining the Blackhawks fandom, fucking good. Thank God. Can we get some more girls in this fan base? I think we could all benefit from that, so I don't have to just fucking keep making these videos for you boys back home. You weirdos. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just doing a bit right now. I don't know. Look at these views, man. These guys are stars. These guys are stars, bro.
That's Nickelback.
The vibes are different. There are good okay. TikTok is just whatever. I just wanted to pull this up. This isn't important. I just wanted to pull it up to say that the vibes heading into the 25-26 season are significantly higher than they have been in years past. It's an exciting time to be a Blackhawks fan. I don't think this rebuild is going to take nearly as long as everybody thinks. I know everybody that's like not covering or following the Blackhawks like, oh, they're 5 years out. Oh, 6 years. Yeah, maybe they'll be good in 2032. It's bullshit. If you go back and watch the like 07, 08, 09, those teams turned around. It turned around so quick. It was doom and gloom and death and despair in 06, 07. Then you get Kane and Taves. They're the last pieces of the rebuild. You have that prospect pipeline start to get to the NHL level. You know, the Hjalmarsons, the Seabrooks, the Keiths, the Crawfords, etc., all coming up at the same time. It turns around a lot quicker than you'd think, and I am so excited for this year, and you should be too as a Chicago Blackhawk fan. If you enjoyed this video and have not seen any of my videos yet, please hit subscribe and check out my other stuff. I'm going to be cranking out videos all year long. I'm going to be streaming during the Blackhawks games. I'm going to be doing post games for every single Blackhawks game, and I'm going to be making videos like this all year long. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, please hit the subscribe button. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Send it to your aunt and uncle if they are Blackhawks fans. If they are not Blackhawks fans, fuck your aunt, fuck your uncle. Don't send this shit to them. I love you guys. I will see you in the next one. Peace.